Starting your college essay can be confusing, unnerving, even stressful. It makes sense. This is important. We're talking about the next 4 years of your life. You kind of want it to go well. But the advice, it is all over the place. Teachers give you generic tips such as show, don't tell, be authentic. Websites will give you one brainstorming exercise after another. Then there's social media, where you've got people scaring you with things like, if you write about your sports injury or your service trip, you're going to get rejected. Your hook will make or break your essay. You need some kind of full circle moment. Be quirky. It feels overwhelming. I get it. Starting your college essay, writing a great college essay, is just not as hard as you think. My name's Chris. I've been a college essay coach for more than 10 years, helping hundreds of students get into Ivies, Stanford, and other highly selective schools. But this video, it's for anybody and everybody. What I did is I thought about the hundreds of essays that I've worked on with students one-on-one, and I broke them down into the components that are part of every single really strong essay. And I'm going to share those components with you in a process that you can follow step by step. I refer to these qualities as the core qualities of college essays. Another way to think about it is that these are the ingredients of a strong college essay. And once you understand and know how to use the ingredients, you mix them together so you can bake your own cake. So here they are, the 6 ingredients of every great college essay. Your message is the heart of every strong college essay. It is the most important thing, by far. You need to figure this out first. Don't do anything else until you know what your message is. A message is not a thesis like you would write for a high school essay. It's not something that you did, some kind of a flex of an achievement or an accomplishment. And it's not something that happened to you, the most terrible thing that ever happened in your life. People write this kind of stuff, but it's mostly because they're trying to stand out by looking for things at the extremes of their life. A message is a motivation that guides your decisions, a value that drives your life, a quality that emerges while you're doing what you love. What's not a message is, I worked hard to overcome a setback. That's a statement of fact. That could be anybody. You don't want to be anybody. A message is, I do my best thinking when I'm uncomfortable. That tells the reader how you're wired. Not a message, I started tutoring at my school. That's an activity. It's a what. A message, I develop other people's abilities. That's a value. It describes how you show up in the world. So when I work with students, I never ask, what's your biggest accomplishment, your coolest project? Instead, I ask, what do you want to be sure that college admissions officers know about you before they make a decision on your application? If you can't state your message in a single sentence before you start writing, you're not ready to start writing. Your message needs to be brought to life. We need to see your message in action. For that, we need evidence, and your experiences provide the proof. Every experience that you choose to use in your college essay should be serving the purpose of showing your message. To find the right experiences, look around your life. Look for times when you have the right experiences, look for experiences that show the message in action. With each one of those, ask yourself, does this experience really show my message? Or is it just kind of a story that I feel like telling? They demonstrate your message. They reveal it. They don't just state it. On the other hand, If you're looking around and you're not finding material that demonstrates your message, you might actually have the wrong message. Your message won't work for a college essay, and you might need to circle back to step one and find a better message, one that you can support with material because it's true. It shows up in your life. But when you find that you've got 2 or 3 experiences, you know it's true, and you actually have the raw material for a really good college essay. College admissions officers are not reading your essay to figure out what happened to you. They're reading it to figure out whether you would contribute to their campus, whether it would be good to have you around for the next 4 years. So your essay has to go beyond what happens and show how you think, what matters to you, how you show up in the world, how you interact with people and events. Character is not something that you announce. You don't just say, I'm hardworking, I persevere. Instead, character emerges from the choices that you make. It comes from the details that you notice, the questions that you ask, how you react to what happens to you. A lot of students write factual narratives of what happened to them. These are chronologies that say, this happened, then that. These never let the reader in to who you are and how you think. We don't know what matters to you. A college essay is not good enough if it doesn't help people understand who you are, how you think, and how you experience your world. So as you write about your experiences, ask yourself, why did I do that? Who was I in that moment? How did that feel? If you focus on why, who, and how, you're going to be on your way to revealing character. The opening of an essay is fourth on my list of core qualities. That's on purpose. People start screaming about, oh, you gotta have a great hook. Focus on your hook. Start with your hook. If you start thinking about and writing your college essay about working on your hook, you're trying to decorate a house that has not even been built yet. Don't do that. A strong opening isn't some kind of a gimmick. You shouldn't be trying to trick your reader into reading your essay. What you should be doing is trying to get them intrigued and engaged. You want to make them wonder, what happens next? That's it. What never works as an opening is a phrase like, for as long as I can remember, or a date, or a quote from a famous person, trying to make some kind of sweeping philosophical statement. What does work for an opening is to do 3 things that a single overly clever sentence can't possibly do. 1, situate the reader. Put them in a moment, a thought, or an observation. 2, you introduce your voice. Make sure that you don't sound like generic college applicant. 3rd, a good opening points forward. It suggests there's something more to come without quite saying what it is. In other words, you get people to keep reading. Do these 3 things, and you're going to have a strong opening. Even more important than your opening is your ending. Think about a book or a movie that you really love. If the ending isn't really satisfying, you won't walk away with that warm and fuzzy feeling, oh, that was good. Not going to happen. An ending is not the same as a conclusion. Don't summarize what you just wrote. It's very important to realize that your college essay is not written the same way as your high school essay. Here's some examples of weak endings. You write an on-the-nose summary. This experience taught me the importance of perseverance. Or you finish your story in a way that feels final. There's nothing more that comes. You make a specific connection to something that you want to do in college. Don't do that. Save it for your supplement essays. A good ending does 3 things. It provides a resolution, of your narrative. It looks forward, not backward, and it echoes your message. Admissions officers, they want to know who you're becoming, where you're heading. So the ending of your college essay should give them the feeling that their college would be a great place for you to pursue your path. The success of the first 5 core qualities depend on core quality number 6. The reader has to be able to understand and follow what you're saying. That starts with structure. Every paragraph in your essay has to have a purpose. If a paragraph doesn't support your message, it probably doesn't need to be there. Don't make detours just because you feel like saying something or you want to tie something in. Cut it out. Keep your structure focused. Also, keep your paragraphs short. One idea, one paragraph. The problem is that high school tends to teach you how to write really long paragraphs. Don't do that here. It's going to be hard to follow you. Short paragraphs work. White space between your paragraphs, that's your friend because it makes your essay much easier to read. Something that's a little harder, but is also essential, is that your paragraphs have to have a logical flow. One paragraph leads to the next paragraph, leads to the next. How do you know if that's working? I find a really good exercise is to try to read down the topic sentences, the first sentence of every paragraph, and see if they form kind of a cohesive string of ideas that you can follow. If you find yourself bouncing around or one paragraph feels like it comes out of the blue, you may need to go back and fix your structure. It's really important that people can follow and they don't have to figure out what you're trying to say. Then there's the writing itself. You don't need to rush to the thesaurus and find a lot of big words. You don't need to be some kind of a poet. What you really need is clarity. Clarity is all that matters in college essays. So try to keep your sentences clean, easy to follow. Choose words that create a picture of what you're trying to share with somebody. Above all, make sure that you sound like a really smart high school student, not an adult who might have tried to help you with their essay. Definitely not ChatGPT. Admissions officers read thousands of essays. They don't need an AI detector to figure out what's real and what's fake. So again, just trust yourself to sound like a really smart high school student. It works. So there it is, the core qualities of great college essays. Those are the ingredients. Now, the work is yours to figure out how to use those ingredients, mix them around, stir them up, and create an essay that's uniquely yours. And here's my old guy advice. Start today, not tomorrow, right now. Pick your message. You're going to be on your way. Now get going. Figure out your message, work through your 6 ingredients, and write a great college essay. Good luck.